Tonight on CTV News at 5.
Having one student do it is serious.
Plagiarism problem. AI makes cheating easy, but getting caught is costly.
I got really sick really fast, but kind of, overcome that initial crisis.
Heart disease. A Nova Scotia woman knows firsthand how tough it is to live with scleroderma.
People think it's a really great place to offer this closure to grieving pet owners.
Crossing the Rainbow Bridge, a place for pet owners to remember their furry family.
I love kids. Kids are my world.
On the last day of school, a beloved crossing guard gets a shout out.
Muggy with showers and fog tonight, but sunny and less humid weather on Saturday.
Live from the Maritime's News Center, this is CTV News at 5.
Good evening and welcome to CTV News at 5. I'm Maria Penopalis. Thanks for joining us. First at 5 tonight, plagiarism problem. AI can be a useful tool for students, but it's so sophisticated that in some cases it can do all the work. Sure, that would be tempting, especially if you've fallen behind or really need that A, but the consequences of getting caught are serious. CTV's Emma Convey met with an educator who's encountering these new forms of cheating more than ever before.
Ed McHugh is a business and marketing professor at 3 post-secondary schools in the Halifax area. Over the last few years, he's noticed a troubling trend. Students using artificial intelligence softwares to cheat.
Having one student do it is serious, but it's increasing. Word has gotten out quite rapidly on this language, and so it's being leaned on by a number of students.
McHugh recently took to social media after he noticed a number of students used AI on a recent assignment.
As an educator, you always feel some sense of sadness, sometimes anger. Because you feel betrayed, and you also feel like they must think that you're not very bright to catch some of this stuff.
I would never use it to do my actual work because it's really stupid. Like if I'll be honest, I will give it a math equation and it doesn't know how to solve it.
There are ways to detect it, but it's tough.
You have an email that's not written very well in grammar-wise, but the attached assignment is in perfect English.
The software follows a certain format in its answers. So when it's copied, it's obvious.
But then after that, it gets really tricky. It comes down to your word versus the student's word.
Some students feel it enhances their learning, but others disagree.
When I use it, it's to get better understanding of what the questions are asking. So usually just re-put them in different words.
For paper reviewing and for some just for some information.
In the arts specifically, it does kind of hinder the programs because you are relying a lot on social views.
Rules vary from classroom to classroom. Each course has its own AI policy. But in general, cheating and plagiarizing are a no across the board.
On your first assignment, if you're caught and it's proven, you get 0 for the assignment. If you do it again in the course, you get 0 for the course.
This professor explains that AI can be a good thing if used appropriately. But students who rely on it entirely are simply getting an artificial education. Emma Convey, CTV News, Halifax.
Thank you, Emma. CTV's Emma Convey for us. All right, let's head over to the anchor desk where Todd Battis is standing by. Todd, these are problems we never thought we'd have.
No, that is certainly right.
5 years ago.
Yeah, you're right about that. We're going to stick with education at the top of the newscast tonight, Maria. New Brunswick announced some big changes to the school calendar for next year. 37 Anglophone schools will be part of a pilot project that will see 2 professional development days on Fridays every month for teachers. We will have reaction tonight in your newscast. The price of a liter of gasoline and diesel on the rise again across the Maritimes. People woke up to quite a spike at the pump. Analysts are blaming it on the latest conflict in the Middle East. Happens to time with the first weekend of the summer as well. Okay. Talk about that at 6. And the number of car thefts in Halifax is on the rise. Police are warning people to keep their vehicles locked. Some owners have stepped up security at their homes. They're adding cameras and different things to the mix. And we will talk about that. Jesse Thomas has details in your newscast. Right now, the first day of summer, we go to the Weather Center and Kaylin Mitchell.
Yeah, almost like a little bit of a weather sandwich for the Maritimes today. The top of the sandwich, well, that would be the rounds of showers and thunderstorms have been making their way through northern areas of New Brunswick. Temperatures cooler there as a result. The middle, or the filling, well, that would be some sunny, hot, very humid weather around southern areas of New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, and areas of Nova Scotia, except around the Atlantic coastline, which would be the bottom of the sandwich. It's cloudier and slightly cooler conditions. Mugginess high across the Maritime region for today. We did have some humidex values that made it feel well into the 30s. In fact, a few spots were feeling into the high 30s for a period of time this afternoon with the combination of both heat and humidity. Taking a look at the winds, they are still mostly out of the south and southwest, except in the northwest of New Brunswick, where they have change direction, becoming northwest wind. That change to a northwest wind is going to happen for all three maritime provinces as we move through tonight into the start of the day for Saturday. Until then, though, the winds very much are going to continue on the gusty side with gusts between 30 and 60 kilometers per hour. And even after they become northwest for tomorrow, they'll be blustery. Now, that change in the wind direction is coming along with this front that continues to bring some showers with the risk of thunderstorms around the northwestern half of New Brunswick this evening. There will be a chance of scattered showers across the region overnight, and then I'll take us into the weekend forecast, which I'll have more on when I'm back a little bit later on, Maria.
Thank you, Kaylin. Right now, though, it's referred to as the hard word disease. As CTV Stephanie Seco shows us, scleroderma may be difficult to pronounce, but it's even more challenging to live with.
It's not a disease you often hear about, but scleroderma impacts thousands of people, about 1 in 2,500 Canadians. Michelle Richard is one of them.
I ended up on dialysis. There was a lot of issues, but slowly I started to recover from that and then adjusted to a new normal, as a lot of us in our community say.
She was diagnosed 25 years ago, and at the time she didn't think she would still be here today.
You can have, 5 to 10 years depending on the severity, and because I was quite severe, it was like, okay, well, get things in order. But surprise, here I am, I turned 60 and I'm grateful.
Scleroderma, which literally means hard skin, is an autoimmune disease that causes the body to produce too much collagen. It can affect people of all ages, races, and genders, but is more common in women.
Visibly, you can have your digits or your fingers really crumpled up like this, for example. You can have a tightened mouth, tightened skin, or it can be invisible, so it can affect your internal organs, your kidneys, your heart, your lungs, all of that.
June is Scleroderma Awareness Month, and Scleroderma Atlantic has been hosting its Make a Move fundraisers in cities across the region.
It's not easy living with scleroderma, but June is a time for us to be able to come together, to connect and to learn from each other.
Richard is grateful to have such a supportive community, one that is always ready to welcome more people.
We're here, and we want people to know that we're here, and that you don't have to be alone. We're here, we'll help you, and we'll help you when you're ready.
Make a Move for Scleroderma takes place here at DeWolf Park in Bedford on Saturday. Organizers hope to raise $30,000. Stephanie Seco, CTV News, Bedford, Nova Scotia.
Thank you, Stephanie, and let's hope that they have a wonderful weekend to do that. And thank you, of course, to Michelle for sharing her story. We're going to take a break here on CTV News at 5. Still ahead, find out how to win a shellfish lover's getaway to beautiful Prince Edward Island. The details are still ahead. We also have these stories.
My name is Sam Cole. I'm from the Bidewell Animal Shelter in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. And coming up, I'm going to tell you about our Rainbow Bridge in our Trios Memorial Garden.
I'm Hafsa Arif in Dartmouth, where a snapping turtle was spotted digging the perfect nesting spot just behind me. That story is coming up on CTV News at 5.
Lace up your sneakers and make a move for scleroderma this June. Help support the hundreds of Atlantic Canadians living with this autoimmune disease. For details on this year's walk-run event in your community, visit makeamoveatlantic.ca.
It's not every day you stumble across one of nature's oldest survivors, especially one with a nesting routine in the middle of a popular park. CTV's Hafsa Arif has the exciting details from Dartmouth.
Inches apart, little craters mark the earth at Shuby Park. A snapping turtle was in no rush, testing out the ground, digging, pausing, and digging again until finally she chose where to lay her eggs.
It was building kind of little dens for its eggs. It dug various different holes. The eggs were laid in one, and then the turtle then buried the eggs and made its way over to the holding pond.
It's not the first time she's made herself at home here. In fact, some people believe she's become kind of an unofficial mascot.
The past 2 seasons, the same turtle has been nesting. So there was a flower bed where they had nested last year. Same kind of thing was going on. We're trying to make sure people avoided it, kept the eggs safe.
The loyalty to the land has sparked some excitement.
Nature's great. I guess we have quite the wildlife here in Nova Scotia, so hopefully they keep laying more.
I think she found a good spot. It's a wonderful park, and it's great to see that type of nature.
The turtle's choice of nesting site this time around wasn't ideal, though. It's close to heavy foot traffic, so staff had placed temporary markers. Those have since been removed until conservation officials step in.
If you do find the turtle nest, just make sure you give it some space. Just really try to be mindful in areas around the canal. There could be more nests, there could be more snapping turtles.
Snapping turtles are a species of concern in Nova Scotia, not endangered, but closely monitored.
So it takes 65 to 95 days, that's the figure I've seen, to kind of the incubation period for the eggs. Then they will hatch sometime in the fall.
Hafsa Arif, CTV News, Dartmouth.
Oh, well, let's hope they make it all the way to the fall.
They are really cool reptile. They get
yeah.
so big, too.
Yeah, keep your distance.
At their most vulnerable after they just hatch or before, as we
Absolutely,
just heard.
yeah. So we're looking at the weekend, and it's riding on you. What's going on here? We're counting on you.
Well, today was an interesting one around the Maritimes. It was pleasant in some areas. Other locations were hot and humid, and yet other parts of the region dealt with some showers and some thunderstorms. You can feel that mugginess in the air at Albro Lake Park here in Dartmouth, and I'll have more on that weekend weather that Maria was talking about after the break.
In huge waves, so you can still do around 9 knots. That's why we are search and rescue ships built for North Atlantic, so we can go through rough seas and still rescue other boats in the North Atlantic.
That is Chief Petty Officer Eric Bergman from HDMS Veteran. The Danish ship is docked at Pier 23 in Halifax for Fleet Week. It's one of the ships you can tour during the festivities. And here's a fun fact, Kaylin. Once you're on the vessel, you're officially in Denmark. No passport needed. For a full list of Fleet Week events, we've included a link on our website, ctvnewsatlantic.ca. That is a very cool opportunity.
There you go. Quick weekend trip to Denmark, right?
Exactly. On the waterfront, we're hoping we'll see some sunshine this weekend.
Yeah, and they will. I know they've been sitting in the fog much of the past couple of days. We do have a change in the wind direction coming up as we move through tonight into tomorrow. It's going to lower the humidity. It's going to get rid of some of that coastal fog for the weekend ahead. In the meantime, though, as we take a look out at the Shediac Yacht Club in New Brunswick, it was some fairly cloudy conditions today and a high level of humidity. Sun did break through at times for parts of New Brunswick, as well as for areas of Prince Edward Island and parts of Nova Scotia. And where it did, you really could feel that heat and humidity. Barometric pressure, though, is falling, and it's falling at the approach of that weather front we've been keeping track of over the last couple of days. Remember, yesterday, it's a very slow-moving weather system. Yesterday, it was positioned over the St. Lawrence River Valley in through Quebec. Now this evening, it is coming in through New Brunswick. It'll be moving across the Maritimes as we go through tonight. Now, as it's moved into New Brunswick today, it has brought showers and thunderstorms. Rounds of thunderstorms coming across northern parts of that province, but still within the showers that are now this evening starting to become a little bit more widespread in New Brunswick. There is a risk of some thunderstorms with them. And moving through tonight around the Maritimes, cloudy periods, a chance of showers as that front still comes through for all 3 Maritime provinces, and there could still be some patchy drizzle, certainly some coastal fog around for the evening hours. Now overnight, though, and very early Saturday morning, that's when we start to get into the clearing for this weather system. And clearing first in New Brunswick, in western areas of Nova Scotia, clearing continuing through the first couple hours in the morning for Prince Edward Island, eastern areas of Nova Scotia, so that by the time we get to the afternoon around the Maritimes, it's mostly sunny. Now, winds continue to be on the gusty side. For tonight, at the approach of that front, and tomorrow, Still gusty in behind it. Wind direction, though, will have changed. It'll be out of the northwest, some of the gusts between 30 and 50 kilometers per hour. That northwest wind bringing in drier air off the continent, so humidity levels falling into the start of the weekend. And that results in some low temperatures tonight in northern areas of New Brunswick. They could fall into a range around 8 to 11 degrees. Other areas in the Maritimes tonight still looking pretty mild on the stuffy side with that high level of humidity in the air. Most of the lows between 12 and 16. High temperatures in the forecast for tomorrow. Despite the fact that it's still a little bit gusty and that the humidity is lower, it still looks like it's going to be a sunny and warm day for most of the region. A lot of high temperatures on Saturday will be around the low to mid 20s. And if you're looking for sort of a sunny, drier day, Saturday is going to be the best of the two, because coming up on Sunday, we do have another round of some showers that's expected to move in from the west. Now, this looks like it's going to be arriving morning into afternoon for areas of New Brunswick, and mostly afternoon into evening for parts of Prince Edward Island and Nova Scotia. With that band of showers, there will be a risk of some thunderstorms along with it because the increased cloudiness and the showers moving through. Temperatures in a lot of cases cool a couple of degrees compared to Saturday's forecast. So a lot of the high temperatures on Sunday, high teens and low 20s. At the start of next week, though, we have a rise in both heat and humidity. Begins on Monday, especially for the province of New Brunswick. High temperatures coming up to the high 20s, except along the Bay of Fundy coastline. Still looking at low to mid 20s on Monday for Prince Edward Island and for Nova Scotia. But you'll notice a little bit of an uptick in the humidity around the Maritimes as well. And then the peak of heat and humidity next week looks like it is going to be on Tuesday. All right, let's take a look at our Weather Watcher for tonight. And tonight's Weather Watcher is 8-year-old Roman from Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. Roman has sent us a drawing of watching the wind blow the trees around at his grandmother's cottage. Definitely some trees being blown around a little bit today. Thank you, Roman. If you'd like to be one of our weather watchers, they can come into CTV Weather Watchers, P.O. Box 1653, Halifax, Nova Scotia, B3J2Z4, or email kaylin.mitchell@bellmedia.ca. Maria.
Thank you, Kaylin. So losing a pet is a heartbreaking part of life, but a new park in Dartmouth is a place to honor and remember your four-legged family member. CTV's Mike Lamb takes us over the Rainbow Bridge.
Bidwell has been in the community since 1969. We've been serving primarily Dartmouth, but the HRM and beyond. We are currently at Trios Place Memorial Garden, which is our memorial garden at the shelter. It was created in 2012 in honor of our beloved 23-year-old cat who lived at the shelter for all of 23 years, our three-legged trio. We're a nonprofit animal shelter in the community, so we help cats and dogs find their forever homes, but we also offer low-income and support programs to make sure that these pets who are in homes already get to stay in their homes.
Papa, good girl.
We just unveiled our newest addition to Trios Place Memorial Garden, our Rainbow Bridge. So it is a place where people can come and remember the fond memories that they have with their pets. We invite you to come hang a collar or a name tag of your beloved pet and remember those great times you have and remember that they are waiting for you just on the other side of the Rainbow Bridge. Rainbow Bridge is a term that is used a lot in the animal world. It's this idea that once your pet passes, it's not goodbye forever, it's just a goodbye for now, and that they will wait for you in the afterlife. It was a community project put together by a bunch of different groups, and we've seen incredible reactions. I'd be lying if I said we didn't all have kind of a moment to ourselves to maybe cry a little bit over some memories that we all have of our pets, but it's really been touching to see the community show all this love and support for the project. I think people and pets have a super, super powerful bond. There is so many mental and physical health benefits to having animals in your life. Having that bond and having a place to really memorialize that bond when your pet passes is really important to us. We want to offer this space for people who just need a moment, want to come to some closure with passing of their pets and really grieve and find comfort in the fact that it's not completely over.
Oh, how very sweet. I have a feeling you're going to get a lot of traffic your way. All right, we're going to take a very quick break. Stay with us, though. Here's a preview of our final story of the evening.
I'm Derek Haggett in Moncton. Coming up on CTV News at 5, I'm going to introduce you to a crosswalk guard who parents are calling inspirational. She likes to dress up in wacky costumes. Kids love her, and we're going to introduce you to Nikki on the last day of school. That story is coming up.
CTV and the PEI International Shellfish Festival have teamed up for our Shellfish Lovers Getaway Contest. One lucky viewer will win 2 festival passes, 2 tickets to Feast and Frolic, 200 shellfish bucks, accommodations, and more. To enter, go to ctvatlantic.ca and follow the contest prompts or scan the QR code on your screen right now. You can enter once per day until Saturday at 5 p.m. and we'll announce the winner on June 27th. Good luck, everybody. What a great prize. Final story time now. It is the last day of school in New Brunswick, and for most kids, it's the best day of the year. But as CTV's Derek Haggett shows us, for a woman who makes sure those children get to school safely, it's actually bittersweet today.
It's the last day of school at Evergreen Park. It's also a goodbye for now and have a great summer for Nikki Leving, one of the school's crosswalk guards.
My whole life has kind of been around making people happy and kids happy. My grandfather always said, you know, if you have a job that makes you miserable, find something else that makes you happy.
Nikki does a lot more than make sure the elementary school kids cross a busy street safely. She dances, hands out toys and stickers. This week, she even wore costumes for the final 5-day countdown.
Life is too short. A simple smile, getting to know somebody, you know, doing things to make them smile, it costs nothing.
Parents call her inspirational, and she never forgets a name.
She's really an amazing person.
Once in a while, when we walk our daughter to school, we get to see Nikki, and she's been a joy to see in the morning. She's always in a good mood, and the last few days she's been in costume, and she had presents for the kids.
Remember, there's a day that we were about to cross, and there's a driver that didn't really care about the stop sign. He just drove, and then she was very upset. She even mentioned that she has to report the driver.
Students who just finished their final day ever at Evergreen Park gave her a present on behalf of the school.
Gives us compliments. She makes us, if we're not like feeling good in the morning, she gives us like some support.
Twice a day, 5 days a week, Nikki gets them home safely, and she'll miss the kids dearly.
Absolutely.
Nikki hopes to be back next year so she can experience another last day of school and have a great summer. Derek Haggett, CTV News, Moncton.
Aw, Nikki, you are so sweet. Have yourself a wonderful summer. And hey, way to go, kiddos. All the New Brunswick kids that get to say today was their last day. Have yourselves a great summer, too.
I hope she has a great summer break. Speaking of breaks, I myself am taking a little bit of summer vacation. So as a programming note, I will not be on the program for the next little while.
We will miss you, but we will see you at 6 o'clock, and I'll see you on Monday. Have a